Alright guys, hey, welcome back. Alright, and continuing where we left off last time, we got the last combat. Gonna take out all these guys and then we're gonna finish shutting down the pump so Joker can go through the Gotham River. Then we got probably one of the trickier boss fights in the game. Little Titan fight in a very small room with not a whole lot of space to move around. And yes, it is just as much fun as that set, it being very cramped with waves on waves of extra guys in between. It ain't just you and the Titan. Oh no, that would be too easy. But the first pump control.
Oracle, that's the second pump shut off.
Just one more to go.
And the second one gets shut down. And back up top.
That's pump 3 disabled. I'm going to head back up to the surface and track down Ivy.
Get in touch if you need anything.
And then we got some more commentary from an irate Joker here in a moment. But not before we get some more chattering teeth.
I know you're down there, Bats. Ruining my plans? Well, stay where you are. I'm sending down a token of my displeasure. Of course, I could be just gonna do too badly.
Yep. He sends down a henchman on Titan, and this is, it's always a fun fight, let me tell you. With the explosive gel there to stun him as well, you don't gotta throw the battery. And right there, though, I disagree with that. I think I should have been able to have avoided that shockwave. I think I was far enough away. I think the game cheated me. Just my opinion. And we get on the Titan's back and we can use him as a wrecking ball to whack all his friends. That's always fun. Except for this brief moment right here, I just could not get the big guy to move where I wanted him to. And and the last thing you want to do is dismount the Titan in like an elevator shaft. That's why I tried to immediately get away from there, so I had room to move in case he charged or swung his arms. And really, like, the hardest part of this fight, realistically, just making sure you put enough distance between you and the Titan whenever he swings his arm, like y'all just saw right there. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's why the developers made sure to put put the Titan, put the henchman down here. Otherwise, this fight would be relatively easy because we've already fought the prototype Titan in intensive treatment. We already fought Bane in a much larger room with a bunch of guys, and that's all Bane is. Bane's just the prototypical Titan fight that they had for every other, that he was the blueprint for every other Titan fight. So all this fight is, hey, what if we, took the Bane fight and we made the room even smaller? And we threw in even more guys than in the Bane fight, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's alright. But one of the things though that makes this fight a lot harder than the Bane fight, probably in a lot of people's opinion, and they're all right, every one of them, is, just look at the size of the room. This room is tiny. And you could really make the argument that, as far as space goes, it's like, there's barely enough room for the Titan guy down here, for like in terms of the height of the ceiling and just how big the guy is. But yeah, like I guarantee you, it's like it's like size-wise at least, 2 or 3 of these guys wouldn't be able to fit comfortably down here. But in the end, we do take down the big guy. And up here, or at least somewhere up here, we find another Chronicles of Arkham message. I think it's this one. Yep, it is.
Curse me for a fool. How could I not see it until now? The monster had a confederate. I hid in the darkness near his cell, and saw with my own eyes one of the doctors whispering to him. She looked at him through the transparent barrier with tenderness, with, dare I say, desire. My skin crawled with revulsion as she kissed the glass. Fighting the urge to dash the woman's head through the glass, I let her continue. The damnable clown might have shared secrets with her that would be useful once the mad dog has been executed. I'm sure the woman will reveal what she knows to me. If not willingly, then certainly under electronic persuasion. After that, a lobotomy, I think. Unfortunate for one so young. But her lust has put the reputation of Arkham at stake. Yes, a lobotomy. The very thing. There is no other way to ensure her silence in this regrettable matter.
So yeah, sounds like, the spirit of Arkham. He discovered the monster's confederate was everyone who they'll probably know who that woman was. It was Dr. Harlequin. And it sounded like, and I don't think the good doctor would have enjoyed that lobotomy that the spirit of Arkham would have done to her. And I do think though that she eventually probably would have confessed to anything that Joker might have told her. But as far as we know, that never happens. But we all know what happened to her in the end. And we may get back outside.
Ivy's getting stronger. I need to stop her now.
I think she's still in the gardens where you left her, but she'll be in control of it now. You'll be walking into a trap.
That's what she thinks.
Hey, can we all just take a moment to appreciate, though? I mean, alright, it's just like, just equating the events of Arkham Asylum to when Ivy was injected twice with Titan by Joker. And let's assume from the time Batman leaves the Botanical Gardens and everything he did in between to him just leaving.
This island belongs to me.
Ivy's done all of this in, just a few hours. and being generous there with the timeline and all of that. Ivy's done all this to Arkham in just a few hours. And it really kind of, makes you stop and wonder for a moment if she would have been given, if she could have gotten off the island and, gotten more used to her powers in Titan. No, there's almost no telling what she could have done given more time.
Yet again, I found myself watching him. No one can provide a cure. He laughs in the face of those who try. Amadeus would not have let him live. And neither should I. One last sip of cognac, and I was ready.
But yeah, sounds like the spirit of Arkham, he's talking, once again, he's talking about Joker. When he says that he's watching him, he's referencing Joker and all that. But yeah, it's like, and that's, just one thing that I really feel like that they could do so much better, though, if they were to completely rebuild this game from the ground up and did more with like the environmental stuff and storytelling. Because let's face it, as you guys who have played this game will know and all of that, and it's like you hear when Ivy speaks, it sounds like she's speaking from everywhere. She her voice, it sounds like she's like either right next to you or like she's on the PA system like Joker is, but we know she isn't.
This is my final interview with Edward. I have gone as far as I can. I can no longer tolerate his mood swings and tantrums. I have more important work to be getting on with. He will be transferred to Dr. Whistler's care as of next week.
Good morning, Doctor. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, Edward. You're in a good mood.
I'm always in rare spirits when I'm about to be released.
Edward, you know you don't come up for parole for another 3 years.
First thing I'll do is have dinner at that Italian place on 19th Street.
Seriously, Edward.
I only hope Joker hasn't completely trashed the city. Oh well, I'm sure I'll find out soon enough.
Wait, have you been in contact with the Joker? He escaped Arkham weeks ago.
And yet, one hears things.
What things? What have you heard?
Oh, something about a surprise party for Batman. I forget the rest. You know Joker. Yak, yak, yak.
Edward, if you know anything, you've got to tell me. Lives could be at stake. What did Joker say?
You forget, Doctor. I'm the one who asks the riddles.
Yeah, that last interview tape there from Riddler, basically just referencing the events of the main game here, the party and all of that.
Are you cheating? Looking them up on the internet? Tell me.
Yeah, and Riddler, starting to freak out a little bit. It's always a good feeling. But yeah, it's like, the whole thing with Ivy here, nearing the end game in Arkham, it's like we see how strong she is in just a few hours with Titan. And it really kind of makes you wonder if she would have been able to get off Arkham and disappear, and if she had had a few more weeks or months even to experiment with what she could do now with Titan flowing through her, there almost isn't any telling what Ivy could have done if she had more time to get used to what she could do now that she had Titan. And it's like, and think to what she did in Arkham Knight, and and assuming that that Ivy didn't have any Titan in her which, you know, there's no implication hinting that there is, but I personally disagree. I think from the end of Arkham Asylum onward, whenever Ivy does anything, it's like, she has, some level of Titan left in her. But, I'll continue that after we listen to this message.
He watched as I entered the cell. He smiled as I showed him the knife. I told him how I will use it, how I will cleanse this city. And then, terror. I was paralyzed. I struggled. I screamed, but I was silent. The monster looked at me, expressionless. He ran my blade slowly across my forehead. A smile cracked across his horrible porcelain face, and I heard the filth fall from his mouth. He laughed and called me that horrible name.
But yeah, it's like, so like, with that, like being like my personal headcanon that, that Ivy, even post Asylum, that, she still has some remnants of Titan left in her. And, we all see what she did in Arkham Knight. Now imagine that very same Poison Ivy, if she had those 2 doses of Titan that Joker injected her with. And just imagine that for a moment. I genuinely do believe if that Ivy from Night had, this Ivy's injections with Titan, I think she honestly probably could have, cleared out all of the toxin from that Crane unleashed and was being amplified by the Cloudburst. I think she could have done that without it, taking herself out as well to do it. I genuinely do believe that she probably could.
How did you find that one?
Now, for for the sake of there being some, emotional hit and all of that to her, to that being like her final act, I wouldn't say it would take her out per se. But I'd probably just go with that. It would force her to, go into a state of suspended animation. I guess she would have to wrap herself up in like a flower or like a cocoon like state, and just to naturally recover after doing that. I just honestly feel like, that's probably what she would have done if she had the full effect of the Titan in Arkham Knight as she does here in this game. And, that's, rather just, it's just, fun food for thought, in my opinion, to think on. That, if this is what Ivy can do to Arkham in just a few hours, and presumably this is her not even trying to really change the island. It's like this is her just passively, just testing what she can do with her plans. And we saw, in Night, where she was actively using her powers and actively trying to help back. And just imagine, what else she could have done if she had the same level of Titan that I personally believe she still had remnants of it in her in Night. I mean, there's no way that you would honestly be able to convince anyone else that that Ivy, if she still had Titan in her, that she wouldn't be able to just wrap her vines around a Cobra tank and just wouldn't just instantly destroy it or anything like that. And and just something else, just a little bit of just my other personal belief as well. I kind of personally believe that like Ivy is so in tuned with the island and all of that, that if she wanted to, she could probably feel, I guess, or like sense where everyone is on the island, like everyone walking around like on the ground and all of that. It's just like my personal headcanon, just add that into like some of the stuff that like it would seem possible that Ivy would be able to do. Just kind of just add that to the list. And yeah, and just and as you guys have been seeing in the gameplay, I've been collecting some of those other Riddler trophies and riddles that have been that I haven't yet been able to get to yet. Either didn't have the line launcher, or didn't have the ultra bat claw to pull down some of those walls and ceilings. But yeah, I believe at this point now we're gonna go after Ivy.
What do you think you can do, Batman? I am everywhere. My babies know your every move. You and your kind are arrogant enough to think you can destroy us. You will fail, and we will become the most powerful force on the planet.
Yeah, and right there, she even says that her babies know Batman's every move. It just just builds more dialogue into that belief that like Ivy does know where everyone left on the island is. And for all intents and purposes, I mean, if Batman fails here in his fight with Ivy, I mean, there's no way that you'd honestly be able to convince anyone that like Ivy wouldn't immediately curb stomp, Joker and the rest of his men that he has on the island. And in my personal belief, let's say the cure didn't work on Ivy, like at all. And and there's kind of some credence to that, to say that like it wouldn't have worked on Ivy a little bit. And I mean, let's just say it didn't happen and Ivy captures Batman. And she has him wrapped up, in vines, and she takes away his utility belt and she captures him. What I think she's going to do next, or at some point, I think she's going to encircle the island in vines. And she's basically going to hold everyone else captive.
Oh God, does she ever stop
And
going on about those
then at that point, once she's made Arkham an impenetrable fortress, then I think she would actively begin focusing on taking over the rest of Gotham at that point.
Good luck to you, Toots. I got an
But, you know, that's just my kind of personal headcanon for what Ivy would have done if she had beaten Batman. And I think most people would probably agree with that. That if Ivy had beaten Batman, and I know from the dialogue there that, you know, Joker was boasting that, you know, he put up like a good fight for Ivy and all of that. And in my personal opinion, I think Joker right there, I think he was just talking out of his butt. I do not think, I do not think he'd be able, and his men, even if he were to inject, 50 of his men with Titan, and they were to genuinely try to go to war with Ivy here on Arkham, I don't think they would. I genuinely do not think that they would be able to. I think Ivy would very easily be able to restrain Joker and all of his men, and even if Joker were to inject himself with Titan as he does in the main game, but even in like this hypothetical, he and Ivy go to war, I do not think he's winning that. I think Ivy is capturing everyone on the island and making them all her prisoners.
So you're here at last. Do you like what I've done with the place? My babies are growing, Batman. Come and see.
Yeah, and just listen to some of the dialogue that she's saying. Her babies, they're not even at full strength yet. And, and never mind, it's like, like all the gameplay mechanics and all of that. It's like, you give this Poison Ivy, more time outside of Arkham, and say she were to get away or capture Batman, I genuinely believe that she would become extraordinarily dangerous.
Are you ready for me? Do you think you can handle me? I'm waiting in here. Come to me.
It's like, and even right there, the size of that vine right there that Ivy used to move the debris that Joker caused. Imagine an even bigger vine like that wrapped around like two Titan henchmen or Joker, and you really want to, and Joker's over there really thinking like, he'd be able to fight this Poison Ivy. No, he wouldn't. Not even a little bit.
I've got myself a little security, Batman. They'll just die if anything happens to me.
And yeah, and as you can see, as anyone who's familiar with Poison Ivy, she has mind control and all of that through her pheromones. So she captured poor Eddie and Officer North, and she mind controlled them. And just about every other Arkham guard left alive, presumably. But, here's the cutscene for the Ivy fight.
I won't let you destroy it, Batman.
I told you to go to your cell.
I was a fool. I thought the plants were in pain. Now I realize they were evolving, growing stronger.
Gotham will be mine.
Alright, so the Poison Ivy boss fight. This is the first and only two-phase boss fight in this game. And in my opinion, this is the best boss fight in Arkham Asylum. So yeah, what you want to do is you want to dodge the projectiles there. When and when Ivy opens up the little shield there, you want to throw the batarang via quick throw while dodging the projectiles. And as well, it does a little less damage, but you can still throw the batarangs. When she has the shield up, they'll just do much less damage. And the other set of vines there will strike the ground, and vines will come up. And if they catch you, you'll want to press X or A on on Xbox or whatever the button is on PC to break free. And as you can see, yeah, she shoots a volley of them too. It's not just single shots. And and when she goes down, just equip the explosive gel and watch the little cutscene of it. And there is phase 1. And what she does differently in phase 2 is she does all the same attacks, but now she, calls in the mind-controlled Arkham guards to help her. And then, aside from that, that's really all she's got. She just calls in more guards for phase 2. But yeah, just in my opinion, as far as boss fights go, mechanically speaking, Ivy genuinely has the most going on for her in terms of boss fights, and I don't think it's even close. And and that's another reason though why I feel we really need to get like a proper remake of Arkham Asylum. Just more so just to bring it in line mechanically with the other Arkham games. It's like, imagine Arkham Asylum Batman moving like how he was in Arkham City, or even better, how he was moving in Arkham Knight. And of course, one thing that I think a lot of fans would really want, they would want more intricate boss fights, like the Bane fight. Have that fight play out like the first Arkham Origins Bane boss fight. Just do that, and everyone would love that fight. And kind of have like the Titan henchman fights. Have those kind of be like a mix of like the Bane Asylum fight where he charges, but also a mix of the Origins Bane fight where you could actually counter some of Bane's attacks and all of that, and have them fight kind of like that instead of how they they just sweep attacks and all of that, and you can't counter or anything. And and as soon as Joker found out that Poison Ivy had been beaten, this is just my personal headcanon, but it's something Joker would absolutely do. I genuinely believe he jumped up and down and cheered, and he was shouting, happy as a kid who just got candy. because, just my personal headcanon, if Ivy would have beaten Batman, she would have steamrolled Joker, in my personal opinion. So as soon as Joker found out that Bats had beaten Ivy, you're never changing my mind that Joker wasn't a very happy, psychotic, crazy clown. You're not changing my mind on that. I think he was very, very happy. Oh, but yeah, it's like, alright, though, but for the rest of this video, guys, we're basically just on cleanup now for the rest of Riddler's stuff. We're just gonna be hunting down the rest of the Riddler trophies and anything else that we either couldn't get to because Ivy's vines were in the way, and or we just didn't have the we just didn't have the gadgets to be able to get to them. And unfortunately here I make another stupid mistake. To all you guys who have played the game and actually found all 240 of the Riddler trophies and all of that, you guys will know that there's a Riddler trophy somewhere beneath Arkham Asylum in the sewers. And I that fact here while I'm in intensive treatment, just that completely that just does not register. So here I am, I'm leaving like I'm not knowing that somewhere in the back of my head that there's a Riddler trophy down beneath Arkham Asylum that I should be going to go get right now. But I remember that as soon as I get done in the Arkham Mansion and the Botanical Gardens, I remember. Oh wait, yeah, no, there's a Riddler trophy in Croc's Lair that I completely didn't get when I was in intensive treatment. So I got to go back and get that. Oh my goodness! And you'll see me kind of doing that a little bit after I get done with the Botanical Gardens. I start looking at the little Riddler checklist, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I got that one. I cleared the mansion, and then I cleared the Botanical Gardens. It's like, okay, then I cleared Arkham East, all right, and I cleared Arkham North, all right, and I cleared Arkham West, and then I still got the penitentiary I got to go back into. I ain't been back in there yet, so I still got there. And then then I still got one in the caves. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I still got one in the caves. I gotta go back. No. And yeah, and then I oh man, don't you guys just love having to backtrack on stuff? But yeah, that last trophy, it being a challenge map, survival tactics extreme, I believe it was. And behind this wall, we get one of the last two Scarecrow tapes.
Today I have another interview with Crane. I cannot say I am looking forward to it. I've been feeling anxious. I don't like to admit it, but I think he's getting to me.
How are you today?
I keep telling you, this is my session.
It was your session, Doctor. but not anymore.
Are you okay, Doc?
I think. Yes,
Oh, he's fine. Just questioning his grip on reality. You should be doing the same any second.
Huh? Is that you? Wait, what are you doing? Get off of me. Help! I need help here! I can't breathe!
Like I said, you're all part of my experiment now.
Yep, that was Dr. Crane. It sounds like from that one, he has somehow managed to, hit Dr. Kellerman and one of the Arkham guards with some fear gas. So, so we can only hope that, they, weren't too harmed from Dr. Crane's experiment. And here we got, Professor Hugo Strange. We get his character bio there. And as always, you guys can pause to read if you want, the story, the facts, and, the attributes on Professor Hugo Strange. And we will be meeting him for the first time in the next game when we get to that one in Arkham City. And now, we just got one more to find in the Arkham Mansion. It's all the way back in the Arkham Library. We gotta go back there, and there's a security gate we gotta open. It's behind one of those doors. We couldn't have gotten back there if we tried. But yeah, just last minute, clean up for for the rest of this one, and I believe the next one as well. Well, no, in the next episode we actually I think the next episode's the end. I think we finish the game up in the next one. Pretty sure. And that one, and I'm pretty sure the next one's the last one.
Asylum Interview 1. My experiment is underway. Working alone, I have created my ultimate fear gas. Its potency, a revelation.
They're all over me! Please, Daddy. Don't do it!
Come on. I have pumped enough gas into the medical center to break 100 minds. It should only be a matter of time before... What?
Give it up. Now!
How are you still standing? How come it's not affecting you?
Who says it's not?
I knew it. What was it like? What have you seen?
Officer Cash, get this formula to the air conditioning system, now! You failed, Crane. Again. I've been working with Dr. Kellerman creating an antidote to the toxins in your cologne. He fooled you, Crane. How does that make you feel? Threatened? Humiliated? Scared?
And yeah, from the sounds of it, it sounds like the world's greatest detective got there just in time. But yeah, I'm almost positive the next episode will be the last episode for the Return to Arkham adventure portion for Arkham Asylum, at least. And then next we go to the Botanical Gardens, and we will get the few remaining Riddler stuff there. So if you guys enjoyed the playthrough so far, or anything like that, as always, don't don't feel bad about, leaving comments or anything like that. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on the playthrough and all that. And don't feel like, you guys, would, have to only leave, overly positive or unconstructive, thoughts and opinions down there. I'm open to any constructive criticism. It's like, oh, it was like, well, you could do this or that, and and if you guys, like want to explain a little bit on how to do something like that or do this differently, or or just or anything like that, please, share your thoughts and opinions. And of course, if there's a game you guys might want to watch me play or anything like that, don't feel free to feel free to leave suggestions down below, and if I have that game, I'll I might I'll play it. I'll and or I'll see how it does, or if it's one I feel like playing at that moment, or I can add it to the list. And the only one left in this part of the botanical gardens is where the little bridge was, the by the wall area was over here. We actually needed two gadgets to get to this one. We needed the Ultra Bat Claw, and we needed the line launcher in order to get to it. Need the Ultra Bat Claw right there, pull the wall down, and then the line launcher to get across. And then we just got one more to find here in the gardens. It's over in the Titan production part of the building, and yeah, right there, I completely flubbed that jump not once but twice in under 10 seconds. You love to see it. You just love to see it. And up here we can find the conscious Officer North and Eddie Burrell. They're over there on the benches, sitting down. It's been an awful long night for those guys as well. And also, another, question for you guys maybe. Which Arkham guard do you think had the worst night at the asylum? I kind of feel like it was, who had the worst night was, I think it was Cash, honestly, in my opinion.
It must have been Crane. Another one who doesn't deserve to live. Why do these people thrive on chaos? Joker, in particular, desired anarchy. And since his escape will no doubt wreak it upon my city, I feel this is the end for my diary. Joker will be recaptured. My story will be told. I am not afraid. If Arkham becomes my cell, then I will know I did my best. I will be remembered.
And yeah, there's the one of the last messages of the spirit of Arkham. And the last two of those are found in the penitentiary. And sadly, we do not get to those in this episode, I don't think. But we do get to those in the next one when we finish it up, and then we contact the GCPDC, so they can go capture Riddler, and then after that we go and finish up and take care of Joker, and we recapture the asylum in the next episode. So you guys can look forward to that. And now it'll be after here when I get out of the botanical gardens that I realize I overlooked that one Riddler trophy in the in the sewer system under the intensive treatment building. And here, where I just check everywhere, seeing all what I've got left. Is there a better feeling in Arkham Asylum than watching all the little bat symbols appear on the Riddler challenges? Yeah, the penitentiary that'll be the last building we clear. Botanical Gardens, we just cleared there, so everywhere gets a little bats, more bats. Medical, yep. So just the caves and the penitentiary is all we got left for the Riddler's challenge. And then, of course, the ever so always satisfying, final moments of the Riddler before he gets arrested by Gotham's finest. And here I don't. Yeah, from the gameplay, apparently that crazy, he was right by the door, and I didn't see him, and I didn't want him to jump on me. I didn't think he was that close to the door. He didn't see me, obviously, but I thought he was real close to the door. I wasn't sure how close he was. I wanted to see where he was. But now we begin the so exciting journey of having to backtrack. But not just backtrack, we had to backtrack because Dragon forgot to go down the elevator shaft when we came here the first time to get the Riddler trophy out of the utility corridor. Fun! There's some more of Ivy's plants there. And just the fact, though, that all of Ivy's plants didn't really die. Some of them still have evidence of Titan flowing in them. It's because all of them it didn't really shrivel up and die. That just kind of leads even more evidence that Ivy wasn't 100% cured of Titan. Because if you notice, we never inject Ivy herself with the Titan. It's just her plant. The big one. But, I don't know. It's just, just leaves a little more, wiggle room for believing that, it's even all these plants down here, they're still green. They still have Titan in them. I think it's a bit of subtle storytelling that Ivy, that she wasn't 100% cured of Titan. And, I I think that's made very obvious. And when we get to Arkham City and we interact with Ivy, I'll even point that out a little bit there as well.
I'm losing patience. You're cheating. You must be.
Yep, and Riddler's almost done. Batman had Riddler's broadcasting location, and he just uploaded it to the GCPD. And won't be too much longer till every Arkham fan's favorite thing to do with Riddler, just hear him get taken down and humiliated, everyone's favorite. And thinking on what game I want to do next for you guys. If you guys have any suggestions or anything, of course, leave them down below in the comments, and all that. And at some point, I'll make a community post, and I'll give a list of games, and whichever one gets the most likes or anything like that, when y'all vote, that'll be one we either play next or play at some point. And just like whenever I'm hopefully I be able to maybe stream a game for y'all one at some point.
Does your head hurt, Batman?
And yeah, but that would be much later down the line. But this video is almost over, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro now, I guess. And you guys know usual YouTube outro here, guys. Down below, you know what the buttons do. You know where they are. You know what they do. And I've been your host, Gaming Dragon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.